Hi, welcome to the Let's Think Secondary Science video tutorials for the Year 8 lessons. So by now you'll be well into the pattern of working, and the mantra that has emerged from one of our schools for this project is experiment with the materials, refine them, reflect upon that with your peers, and repeat, and so on. So we're constantly refining what we're doing with the students in the classroom, because as you've realised, the lessons are now getting harder and harder and harder as we're attempting to challenge the students to reach out into higher levels of thinking, such that underpin good grades, levels of GCSE and beyond. You were given last term by your tutor task 3, and that took you through some of the thinking that underpins the lessons, and the materials that came with task 3 about the reasoning patterns such as correlation, probability, will be very important for you to use as we plan the lessons this year. So I would constantly refer you to that. These lessons are difficult, so you do need to think very carefully and plan very carefully with your colleagues how you're going to use them and which class you're going to try them with, because every time you try them, you improve them, you use the materials in response to your pupils. And one resource we'd like you to use this year is something we've called reflective prompts. And as you can see, because the lessons are so difficult, the reflective prompts are a way of helping the students reflect upon their thinking that's been going on in the lesson. And in the words of one of the authors of the original materials from which we've taken our inspiration, the case materials, Carolyn Yates, the role of the teacher and the student is different in these lessons. It's about their thinking and not the content that we're trying to get over to the students. So in that sense, the roles are different. We're providing interventions, we're not giving instructions and curriculum information. We're trying to provoke the students into thinking rather than to support them and to help them cover the content or get to the next level. We're actually relying on the students to develop and construct a shared meaning rather than just what is the right answer. You know, such as, can you, for level 5, draw a ray diagram to show the incident, angles of incidence and reflection, and use all the correct terminology and annotations on the diagram. What comes with this, and why this reflective prompt sheet is quite important, is that actually all of us will learn to accommodate failure and get some feedback on how to improve, not what is the right answer. You know, because we want them to think through the ideas themselves and develop their own thinking and share that with their peers. You know, we give them feedback about the way of thinking rather than the content of what is being taught. You know, and this is hard because we're trying to be in advance of where the students are at, not at the current level of ability. You know, what any individual child would struggle with this, but collectively they can rise to the challenge, because as what we're trying to do hopefully is engineer the students' construction of knowledge and those experiences to facilitate the thinking that goes with this, whether personally or in the group. So please refer to the task 3 that we gave you. You know, and because of this, because it is quite difficult, there's lots of resources for you to use. There are blank PowerPoints with no words on for you to use and adapt. Yeah, so you've got a range of sheets to use with the lessons in Year 8.